What's up, y'all? So we are here in the lobby. Is it the Hilton?
Yes, Hilton Gardens.
Hilton Gardens. My mate, Dan Green. It's day 2. We have a performance tonight. It's midday. It's gonna be a great day.
Yes.
It already started off well. What did we do today?
We froze.
We froze. We went outside and tried recording a weather report.
That was a failure. That didn't happen.
It was cold.
Yeah, weather report is...
No, I mean, I feel like as a comedy, right, you have to... We're not like Kevin Hart. But you think about someone like Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle, they at some point had to go out on the road and market themselves somehow. Right? I mean, and we're doing the best we can to market ourselves. We're gonna go out today and do some flyering and stuff. Right now, we're about to go do an interview with NBC, and that should be a lot of fun. So we're gonna see what happens. Dan is going with his kangaroo, and oh my God, we walked out. It's like almost negative 10 degrees out, like wind chill. It's stupid cold. And I didn't close up my shit. Oh my God. All right, let's see what's gonna happen here. All right, here we go. It's KAKE News. I think that's Wichita's local news, ABC. All right, they're coming in. We're going into Vorshay's. All right, let's see what happens here, folks. Let's see what happens. Vorshay's. It's so cold. At least we're going inside. I thought we were doing this shit outside. All right, we're inside Vorshay's. I thought we were going to be recording this outside, but we're going to record it inside, which is nice. And yeah, the owner, his name's Steve. He's going first.
Alrighty, what's your job title, sir?
I'm the owner of Wichita.
Do you go by any other job titles as well, sir?
Yeah, I do construction as well, and then I'm also a comedian.
Definitely. So, could you tell me about your comedy experience? What draws you to comedy?
It was actually a promise I made to my mom before she died, because she had told me my entire life I needed to try and do comedy, and that was kind of the thing that like catapulted me past the nerves to actually get up and do it.
Wow. What's kind of been your experience getting to go around and do comedy for audiences?
I love it. How comedy gives people that escape, especially the way the world is today. Especially the way the world is today. People need to be able to come in, unplug from their phone for an hour and a half, unplug from the world, and just enjoy a show. Now, that little the lower light enables you to hide in the darkness and maybe laugh at some things you wouldn't usually laugh at in public. And you're like, you know what, I can have a little joy.
Definitely. Is there any kind of misconceptions about comedy that you kind of want to tackle or clear up?
Like misconceptions? No. I think, here's the thing. I think in today's world with social media, everyone wants to jump in comedy, and Dan could probably attest to this. You see everyone kind of jump in, dip their toe in it, and they realize like, it's not really what I was expecting. And I think it is, social media is doing that. It looks easy. You're like, well, I'm funny with my friends, but that's why I vlog about it daily, because I want people to see like it is not just easy to get up on stage and just be funny and you're the next Kevin Hart or the next Dave Chappelle. Like you're not. It's going to take years to do that. And people see a comedian like Matt Rife like blow up overnight, and all of a sudden like, where did this guy come from? Well, the dude's been doing it since he was 14 years old. No one knew who he was at 14. You know, the guy's 29 years old now, and like, you know, it takes years of grinding. So if you think you can do it, give it a shot. Give it a shot, but realize like it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to make tons of money doing it unless you get to that next level, which is doing movies, doing commercials, you know, doing 5,000, 10,000 CPUs. That's where you make money, and that is the 1%. That's the 1% of comedy. And we're all striving for that, but at the same time, you have to love the art. It's art. That's what it is at the end of the day. You know, when you go do the art, you have to do it because you love it, not because you're trying to make it better. Dan and I are out here at Wichita State University. We're gonna attempt to like market, see if we can talk to some people, but also put flyers on cars and see if we can get people out here. We'll see what happens.
Dan thinks if we put flyers on cars, someone might take them all off. They might do that.
Well, they'll take them off if they catch us. The trick is to drop your flyers and get out before they notice you did it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they'll make some bastard go and pull them all out and put them in the trash can. Tips. Because I used to be the bastard who used to do that.
Used to pull them. So that's what we're gonna do right now. It is so cold. It's like, I think it's 15 degrees outside right now. Right, bye. All right, so we have a dinner date with someone Dan knows. So we got to head down to the lobby. It's 4:45 p.m. and we're supposed to be on the news. They said 4, 5, and 6. Big story at 6, but we're not going to be here to see it. They said it will be on the internet, so as soon as I find it on the internet, I'll put a link in the description. But I think it's pretty awesome. It's more. It's more publicity. I'll put the link on my website too, because I have news on my website, news that I've been in. So that's always good as a comedian to put that there. So you hear the talking in the background. It's the news. I guess I could turn it down, but yeah, that's what's going on. I thought I was gonna be able to catch it, but I guess I missed it. They might have showed it at the top of the hour, but I didn't get back here until about 4:20, 4:25. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'd love to see the news article that they run. But yeah, we're about to go have dinner, and then we have our show at 7. All right.
We've got a decent chance.
Well, today overall, I would call a success. We had a much bigger turnout at the show here at Vorshay's. And tomorrow we're expecting to have even a bigger crowd, so it should be a lot of fun. My throat is starting to hurt, so I obviously picked up a sore throat from someone, from Dan, from a guest last night. I have no idea. Taking some Thermaflu for my throat, and hopefully that helps. I took one earlier, or you know, it's like a cup, a drink, and it was delicious and it seemed to help, and now I need to take some more and get through one more night of performances. Tonight's overall performance wasn't as good as last night. So last night, even though we had a bigger crowd tonight, I was trying to have fun with the audience, and I did have fun with the audience, but I didn't get through all my material. And it's not always like about getting through all your material. I had several people come up to me afterwards and like, oh my God, Chris, such a great job. You're so funny. This was great. So relatable with your family material, all that stuff. That's great. But I missed 2 huge callbacks that I wanted to get to. So what I did is I started a joke and I started my opener joke and I was going to put the big callback at the end. And then I put another big joke towards the front of my entire set. And I was going to do another callback before the ending callback. So it's basically squeezing a callback joke in the middle of a bigger callback joke. I didn't get to either of those callbacks because I was up there just having fun, going through material, talking with the audience. The bucket list joke gives me a huge opportunity to talk to people. And last night I had fun doing it. Tonight I had fun doing it, but it got a little carried away. So even though I had fun, the crowd had fun, it cut into me being able to get to my 2 big callback jokes. And then finally my big closing joke. I ended up closing with the joke about my son getting in a fight with a little Armenian kid. I did that last night and it was kind of weak. And when I was in that joke, and I was towards the beginning of that joke tonight, I got the light. I'm like, geez, I didn't even get to my 2 big callbacks yet. And it kind of got in my head, but whatever. But I finished out the joke. It wasn't super strong ending because it's not a super strong ending. And I think the people here in Wichita, like, don't grasp the Armenian culture, which is fine. I mean, you're going to see more Armenians probably in like your bigger coastal cities, urban cities, Los Angeles, New York, probably down in like Miami, San Diego, San Francisco, stuff like that. You go to the center. I mean, we are literally dead center of the country. They probably have 5 Armenians that live here. That's not their fault. That's my fault. And by the time and not knowing how long 30 minutes is, it felt like I was up there for only 20 minutes, but I went back, checked out the video, and sure enough, it was 30 minutes. So I spent a lot of time just messing with the audience and having, you know, talking with the audience. So, and taking my time and pacing myself and enjoying it. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, speaking of which, looking at my playback, my sound didn't work. I don't know. I have to do some research before tomorrow night and see if I can get my sound, my sound pack to sync up with my camera, my Canon camera. So I got to figure that out. Overall though, it was a good show. I didn't get sound on my recording. That's fine. I'll go through it and see if I can find some good photos, stills to take out of it. It also cut off. I don't know if it's a setting, but it records exactly 30 minutes. Well, I'm doing a 30-minute set, and I got to hit record before I go up on stage. So I'm like, ugh. So it's cutting me off at the end. So I might see if Dan can hit record tomorrow, like the moment I get up there on stage and start talking. Hopefully that helps. And I got to go back through my set list, create a new set list for tomorrow, and I'm going to edit it. So like the Armenian joke, again, might be more fun for bigger urban cities where they probably, I'm maybe doing a little research before I get to that town and see if they have that culture there. Because why would I be doing a joke that I have to like explain the joke? I don't want to do that. So I think for tomorrow, I'm just going to cut that one out completely. Like it does, and that's a longer joke. That's a good 2.5 to 3.5 minute joke. So by cutting that out, I should be able to get to at least a couple of my other jokes that I really wanted to get to. And I think I'm going to edit a few other things out. We'll see. But today we are on the news. Here's the news clip.
Well, there might be a lack of comedy clubs in Wichita, but there's no lack of comedians.
As KAKE's Abby Ray tells us, one bar is now trying to bring back the comedy scene in Wichita.
After Wichita lost the Looney Bin, a long-standing comedy club last summer, Wichitans have had to get their laughs elsewhere. Vorshay's Cocktail Lounge is quickly becoming the new comedy central in Wichita. Steve Peters, the owner of Vorshay's Cocktail Lounge, is also a comedian, so he knows how important consistent performance locations can be.
I've been a fan of comedy my entire life and have always, wanted to do something with it. So I saw Vorshay's as a place to have a stage where we can bring in, national touring headliners on the weekends and try and get some semblance of comedy every weekend.
He's putting out tables and lighting the stage as comedians from all over get the chance to show their stuff to Wichita audiences.
Oh, when I walked in here, it took my breath away. Steve really has done a great job here in making a good small room for comedy.
Dan Green is an Australian comedian who moved to LA 5 years ago to pursue what he loved, making people laugh.
Comedy gives people that escape, especially the way the world is today. People need to be able to come in, unplug from their phone for an hour and a half, unplug from the world, and just enjoy a show.
Dan is joined by Chris Kidder in performing a comedy show at Vorshay's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night this week.
Comedy is very much a social art form, and to congregate with others and laugh with others and know it's okay. Hey, that's a dark joke, but I'm laughing, but so is the rest of the room, and we're all healing with comedy in a way. I think it's really important.
There'll be 2 other local comics going up on my shows this weekend as well. So that gives those guys an opportunity to perform in front of 100 to 140 people as well.
A new comedian or set of comedians are featured each week, offering up giggles and chuckles to Wichitans for about $20.
We're a big enough city that I think we just need that, I think it's just a compliment to the city, I really do. So until there's an actual comedy club that comes back in, and I have high hopes that will happen, hopefully sooner than later, I just wanted to fill that void.
In downtown Wichita, Abby Ray, KAKE News on your side.
Well, Buffalo can be a
all right, so that was
worry near why. Next in sports.
That was pretty badass. Come all the way across the country to do 3 nights of shows in Wichita. The Wichita News was so down to meet with Dan Green and myself, and we had wonderful interviews earlier today, and they said they were going to put us on the news at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, and it looks like that's what they did. I'm glad I got back from my dinner to be able to catch it and show and share it with all of you. But I now need a rush. It is 6:20. Show starts at 7. Fortunately, the place is next door, so I'm just gonna finish getting ready here and head over to the show. Yeah!
And if I remember to cut through that, I'll put the news clip in there in the middle. But overall, like, wow, what a fun show. Excited for our last night here in Wichita. Wichita's been very nice, very pleasant. Besides the weather sucked. I did like a striptease on stage tonight because I wore like 10 layers. That also cut into my time. Like, they're running the clock. I'm up there on stage and I'm doing the Wichitan striptease, as I was calling it. I was wearing like 10 layers of clothing. I'm taking all my layers of clothing off before I even started talking through my jokes. So, not necessary. I was trying to have fun because it was Wichita. I'll find something else to say tomorrow night and not go up with all the layers, because I think that ate up at least 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes of my time at the beginning. Yeah, but it's always a learning experience, and that's the best part about this job, is constantly evolving, learning, and applying those changes and watching yourself evolve and grow. I love that. But I'm going to go to bed now. I'm exhausted. It's only like 9:30. I'm going to call my kids real quick. 7:30 California time. We're 2 hours ahead. Say goodnight to them. And then I'm going to hit the sack and try to get some sleep, man. Try to sleep whatever this throat thing is. And hopefully I don't like lose my voice or something. That would be horrific. Ugh. Anyways, good night.